Hi, I'm Mirza and you're watching TheHealthSite.com.
Hello, good evening and welcome to TheHealthSite.com. I'm Upneet Pansare. Today we have with us somebody who doesn't really need an introduction. We all know Mirza as a talented actress, as a producer, as a former beauty queen. But we also know her as someone who has been consistently lending her voice to a variety of social campaigns, be it wildlife conservation, cancer, HIV, children's welfare, women's health, Swachh Bharat. She's been at the forefront of all these campaigns. Today we're going to talk about another campaign which is very, very close to her heart, and that is the Napkins and Give Her 5 campaign. So,
hello everyone, thank you for joining us. I'm really happy to be here.
Menstrual hygiene issues that young girls face in rural India. I mean, this is something that honestly women like me cannot relate to, because I have access to sanitary napkins and other menstrual hygiene products everywhere. I can afford them. I can also dispose them off easily, but there is a section of women in rural India that cannot do this.
Yeah.
So, what got you interested in this kind of a social cause?
I think it's twofold. One is that through the work that I've done with Swachh Bharat over the last year and a half, and also with interacting with various organizations that work at a grassroots level, that are dealing with and trying to combat women's and children's issues. Because you must remember that a woman's issue is not just her own. It impacts not just her immediate life, but it impacts her family, her children, and her family. And sanitation and hygiene is a very important part of well-being and health. And I think the fact that when you discover that places that are not even perhaps 50 kilometers away from your urban centers, even within urban centers, there's a certain strata and a rung of society that is below a certain economic line, and the way they live and the way they deal with the inability to obtain or have access to the things that you rightly said are just such a common and simple part of our lives. And I think two things that come to the fore is access to toilets, and the second thing is sanitation, sanitary napkins, and access to sanitary napkins and personal hygiene for women in rural India, and also, like I said, within urban centers. I think what really horrified me was that even today, I'm going to refer to these notes because it's very important for me to be factually correct, is that a large number of women use scraps of old cloth. There was a time when women used to use cotton, but cotton has become expensive and inaccessible to a large part of women, so they use synthetic materials, which are really, really bad for personal care. A lot of them use sand, use ash, use husk, use leaves to protect themselves during their menstrual cycle. And I have goosebumps saying this, but it breaks my heart, and it really churns my stomach to think how horrible and cruel this reality is. And there are little girls, who attain their menstrual period, and once they come of age, they start dropping out from school, or their attendance rate dips because for those 5 days they can't go to school. Women suffer at work because they're unable to go to work during that period, and it's a cruel reality. So that's one. The second thing that really concerns me and frightens me is the fact that we have, if we follow the research done by the USAID, a woman disposes approximately 145 to 150 kgs of soiled, non-biodegradable sanitary napkins over the course of her menstruating life, which is from the age of 13 to 45. Now, if you multiply that by the population density of women in our country, you can only imagine how much of sanitary waste, like sanitary pads, we are disposing of that has nowhere to go. Because each sanitary napkin takes 999 years to decompose.
Oh, okay.
And the math on this is frightening, because close to 100 million tons of non-biodegradable sanitary pads would be disposed around the country if we just added the menstrual period of every woman in the current population.
Okay.
So it's Give Her 5 by Safkins excited me at a human level first, because I think what they've come up with is innovation that is sustainable. The first thing that has happened with this campaign and this innovation is that they have actually introduced sanitary napkins to this country and to the world that are 86% biodegradable, if I'm right, yes, and they're reusable, they're washable and reusable, and they are very, very cost effective. So for me, this innovation is godsend. I mean, I'm so grateful for the people who actually thought of this and came up with it. And I have to clarify here that, you know, I'm not here in the capacity of an ambassador or somebody who has been paid to do this, you know, interaction, but just as a citizen of this country and this world, and the belief that this innovation can actually solve a very big problem.
And it deals with so many issues. It's environment, it's women's health.
It's their empowerment.
It's empowerment, it's hygiene, it's gamut of issues. Just one campaign.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that is what attracted you to this campaign. And like we've discussed, a regular sanitary napkin versus cloth reusable napkins. There are a vast number of advantages, as we've discussed.
You know what baffles me, and I wonder whether you've ever thought of this as well, because as a woman I think about these things, right? There's so many things that we consume in our daily life that we use and we throw, and we become used to doing, and we don't realize the ramifications of that usage and that consumption. And what baffles me is all these companies that are multinationals, that make so much money, they have access to innovation. They have the money, they have the power, they have the advantage that, you know, individuals may not have, but they don't think of solutions. It's so sad, isn't it?
Right.
And it's frightening. And I honestly, like, if I want to start using Safkins, because it terrifies me to think that in my lifespan, my menstrual lifespan, I would have gone down, like used about at least 500 napkins. And if those napkins have nowhere to go, they're clogging our nallas and our rivers and our forests, and they, you know, dogs are playing with it, and it's terrifying what's happening with sanitary napkins the world over. I would switch to it immediately.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I totally would.
Okay. Can you also tell us
Would
about
you?
how? I would. First of all, we have some samples, in fact, in our office, and we're going to try and we're going to do a review soon on our website.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll. I mean, like I said, it takes care of so many things, and environment conservation is something that we all need to think about.
Yeah, so given the density of our population,
exactly,
we don't start thinking about where what we use and throw is going.
And if we start now, we can make a difference sometime
Absolutely.
later in the future. So can you tell us a little about how your fans can, contribute to this campaign? What they can do?
Well, the ladies can, I think, awareness is a very powerful thing. I'm a big believer that with awareness comes responsibility and informed choice.
Right.
I really think that the fact that we're having this conversation, the fact that Living Garden Safkins has launched the Give Her 5 campaign, that gives you access to so much information about personal hygiene for women and how they can reach out to women at a grassroots level in rural India. They can start with logging on to www.giveher5.org, and it's a brilliant campaign because, like the name suggests, you are actually giving back a woman those 5 days of her life every month through the year. and that can be life altering.
Right. Okay. And they should also like and share this video so that there is more
Yes,
awareness.
please spread the word. It's so important for more women and men to discover these
To know about
these
these
realities.
products, right. Like you said, you will be switching from disposable to reusable. So if Mirza can do it, I think all of us can try at least, and then go ahead. We just wanted to do a
Yeah,
quick-
you don't want to be contributing to those 100 million tons of waste that
Absolutely
can't find its disposal.
Those are scary numbers. I mean, I can't believe we are generating so much non-biodegradable waste just by those sanitary napkins. Very scary. I just wanted to do a quick rapid fire round with you about your own menstrual hygiene and what you do. Do you get pain or cramps during menstruation?
I used to when I was younger. It used to be terrible, but it never stopped me from going about doing what I needed to. I used to horse ride. I used to do everything, play sport in school, do
Wow.
absolutely everything. It never stopped me from participating in whatever it is that I wanted to do. But I remember in my mid-20s, it got really tough. Because the lower back would really hurt, and my premenstrual stress would become really high. I would be very irritable and short-tempered, and it was not very nice. But I remember doing the advanced course of the Art of Living, which is like a 4-day course where I did deep meditation, and then I continued to meditate regularly, and it was like a magic wand that somebody had waved over me, because as soon as I did that course, the next time I got my period, I didn't feel any pain.
So just
There's
meditation.
just like this low, like very gentle numbness in the lower back, but no pain. And touch wood, I haven't experienced pain in years.
So you regularly meditate?
Yes.
Oh, so meditation is your natural remedy to get rid
It
of-
was for me.
Wow.
It
okay.
worked wonders
Something
for
that
me.
we can also try.
Yes, of course.
So you don't need the feel to have comfort food or something.
No, and also I don't believe in taking medicines.
Okay.
So I know a lot of people kind of pop pills and go to
Painkillers, yeah.
work, and big no-no for me.
Okay. Alright.
So I'm just glad that I found like a very natural solution to my problem.
That's great. And I think we can all try meditation.
Yeah, because the effects are far-reaching. I mean, it's not
Exactly.
just about getting rid of menstrual pain. I think it does
So
many other wonderful things for
yes.
us.
Can you, while growing up, you must have had some embarrassing, oopsie kind of moments. Can you share one or two with us?
You know, I think I was very fortunate to be brought up in an environment that never made me feel awkward about being a girl
Okay.
or a woman. I remember when I got my period, I was in class at school, and I had soiled my clothes, obviously, because I didn't know it was coming. I was so young.
Okay.
And I got up and I walked straight to my teacher, because we were told, we were spoken with, and it was actually even a jointly held session, because we were a co-educational school.
Okay.
So the boys knew as well what it was and why it was coming, and a lot of the girls would be getting it, you know, and it's crazy, right? We
Right.
fall like flies. One girl gets it, and then all of the girls in the
One
class
particular
start getting
age.
it. Yes, at a particular age. So I walked straight up to my teacher, and I told her that I had soiled my clothes and it was visible. And she said, she gently just took me away. She took me to the the care room, and I was taken care of.
Oh.
And so never ever felt embarrassed about soiling my clothes, because it's such a natural phenomenon.
Exactly.
It's so integral to who we are and what it means to be a woman. And I'm just so grateful that I was brought up in such a progressive environment, you know, whether it was my parents or my cousins or school. And I think that I know that not very many people have that, and I'm very grateful for it.
Okay. Can you tell me?
And I'd hate to call it an oopsie moment.
Okay.
You know, I think we should, as women, change that word like remove it from our dictionary.
There's no need for period shaming at all.
Absolutely.
It's a natural process and something everyone goes through. So.
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us some period hack that you have that to avoid staining?
I think changing your napkin regularly. I mean, every 4 or 5 hours helps.
Okay.
And because it's really when you've worn a sanitary napkin for too long that you tend to, especially if you bleed heavily,
Right.
it's important to check and change regularly.
Okay. And
also it's healthier. I
right.
think.
It's hygienic
Yeah.
also to keep the area clean by changing
Yeah.
it off.
Yeah.
One last question. There are too many period taboos. There's too much period shaming already. Can you tell us one period taboo that India can do away with?
There are so many, but my top 5 would be lighting the diya in the puja ghar, in your own home. I know so many women who don't light the diya when they have their period. They have to change that, and it has to start at home. Not cooking or entering the kitchen during your period. I wish that would change. Visiting places of worship. Not being allowed to eat with the rest of the family. And not being allowed to eat a certain kind of food because you're menstruating. And the 5th would be feeling ashamed. There is absolutely no reason why any woman, it's a healthy thing, it's good that you can, it means that your body has the ability to procreate.
Right. Yeah.
It's a gift.
It's nothing short of magic actually.
Yeah.
If you go to see.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Diya. We are so glad that celebrities like Diya are, speaking about social causes like these, because young girls look up to you as role models, and it's great that you are associating yourself with this Give Her 5 campaign. Don't forget to like and share this video and spread awareness, and also
visit www.giveher5.org.
Yeah, don't forget to do that. Start using reusable pads. That is also one thing that we can take away from this. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel, and thank you so much.
Thank you for having this conversation. I'm so glad that we are all here and we're talking about this, because if we truly want to empower women, it needs to start with health.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.